Hello everyone! For today's video, let us learn about the components of nucleic acids. I will show you some chemical tests that would help confirm the presence of their specific components. Nucleic acids are the macromolecules involved in one of the most important processes in a living organism, the ability to transfer anatomical and biochemical characteristics from one organism to another, which is known as heredity. There are two types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. For today's experiment, we will be using RNA derived from yeast. Let us start this experiment by testing for the solubility of RNA in different solvents. The solvents that we will be using for this test is cold water, hot water, ethanol, diluted hydrochloric acid solution, and diluted sodium hydroxide solution. To do this, place a pinch of yeast RNA in 5 separate test tubes, and then add 2 ml of each solvent to the corresponding test tubes. The results show that yeast RNA is insoluble in cold water, while it is slightly soluble in hot water. It is insoluble also in ethanol and in diluted hydrochloric acid solution, but very soluble in diluted sodium hydroxide solution. The next part of this video is to show you some chemical tests that will determine the components of nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are polymers of nucleotides. The nucleotide monomer is composed of nitrogenous base, a pentose sugar, and a phosphate group. There are numerous chemical tests that can be used to determine the presence of these components. But before conducting this chemical test, it is very necessary that the RNA should undergo hydrolysis first. Hydrolysis would break down the nucleic acid into free nucleotides and the nucleotides to its free components. Hydrolysis is conducted by placing a pinch of yeast RNA in a test tube, and then mixed it with 10 ml of 10% sulfuric acid solution. And then heat the mixture to boiling for 2 minutes. Cool the mixture after boiling. This is already known as a hydrolysate. Save it for the chemical test of the components of nucleotides. Let us begin by doing the test for purine. To do this, put 1 ml of the hydrolysate in a separate test tube, and then add 5 drops of ammoniacal silver nitrate, after which you add 1 ml of concentrated ammonium hydroxide solution. The presence of a white precipitate is a positive result for the test for purine. Next is the test for the presence of pentose sugar. This is done by placing 1 ml of hydrolysate into a separate test tube. Mix it with 2 drops of Molish reagent. And then tilt the test tube at a 45-degree angle and superimpose 1 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid along the side. The formation of a purple ring indicates the presence of a carbohydrate. In the case of your nucleic acid, the carbohydrate is in the form of a pentose sugar. The next test is a test for the presence of phosphate group. Do this by placing 1 ml of hydrolysate in a separate test tube. Mix with 3 ml of ammonium hydroxide solution. And then add 10% of nitric acid solution. Continue the addition of nitric acid until the solution will give an acidic reaction to litmus paper. This procedure may take some time, so patience is a virtue. After that, add 3 ml of ammonium molybdate solution. Heat the mixture to boiling for 2 minutes. The formation of a yellow precipitate indicates the presence of a phosphate group. So that's all for today. Thank you all for watching.